from Indiana's challenge lock. It looks like a no-name core, but you can see it's a Schlage keyway. So we're going to have to kind of work from the corner there, work from that angle up to get inside of there. Now this did come with the key wrapped in this kind of blue tape stuff. I did remove it to make sure that the lock worked, and it does. A little bit sticky, you saw there, but it does work. Had a lot of people say that it's cheating to look at the key, and with challenge locks, I don't know if that's true, but regardless, I do get a peek at the key, you're right, but it also saves me the trouble of trying to pick a lock that has been designed to not ever open again, like it has epoxy in it or something like that, that you guys send in to keep me busy, and they do, believe me. Alright, so my policy now has been, as soon as I get a lock, I want to make sure it works, that it is a true challenge lock and not something designed to eat up a week of my time. Alright, let's see if we can get this bad boy open. This is Colin's first challenge lock that he's ever built. Like I said, it does work. The tail piece is going to get stuck, looks like about right there, so we'll know it's picked. Alright, let's try. It is a Schlage, so we'll use a thick top of the keyway, be out of our way. And I will try. I'm going to use a DeForest diamond. I'll use it right side up. And let me close that blind just a bit. Starting to angle. The sun is starting to reflect in here. Alright, all the way to the rear. And I'm doing this because this is a good pick to use on Schlage because it will fit. I said it will fit, unless this thing has really been modified. Alright. And light tension, let's see what we got here. Looking for a binder. And I feel nothing. Let me change that just a little bit so you can see if we start to get any feedback. Alright, I got nothing on the first pass through. I got a binder. Feels like pin 6. I got a click out of him. Okay, let's keep looking. Just on the off chance that that one is... Okay, that was pin 3. I got a click off of him. And I got a very slight turn on the core there when I touched pin 1. Okay, that was pin 2. Another slight click, and I didn't see it move, but I felt it in my left thumb on the tension wrench. There was again more fault set. And there we go. It looks like we're open. It turned. Looks like the tailpiece is caught just like we thought it would. Let me set these aside so I can prove it to you. That tension wrench and turn them, and the tail piece back here. That's all. Stand by just a second. Turn this off. I don't have any friends that should be calling me now. Oh my God, it might have been Adrian. That might have been the call from the police to come pick Adrian up. Anyway, Adrian's just going to have to wait because this challenge lock, I may not be able to pick it again, so I better take advantage of this. All right. Poor Adrian. But, you know, he's been gone for 3 days, so if he's stuck in a jail cell with like 12 big guys that are insisting he put on a summer dress, that's his business. You know, he brought that on himself. Okay. We're still picked. I will take, looks like this one. Nope. Take the right size. There we go. Yo, I can already see some oddness in here. Let me move this pinning board up here and put some light on the subject. And if you look at pin number 4, I think you can already see some weirdness there. And pin number 6 is in upside down with the pointy end up. So the flat one obviously is down. I don't see anything else from this angle. Let's go ahead and dump the pins and see if any other oddness in there. Okay, we got nothing. Standard, standard, standard. Okay, now remember this is the one with the pointy end pointing up. So he goes like that. That is a unique key pin. So, standard, and number 6. Come out of there. Another standard. So, other than that number 4, nothing odd about this. Let me turn these right side up. And on the core itself, I don't see any modifications, fellas. Nothing. No threading, no counter milling, no nothing. So standard core. Okay. Let's see what Colin has done to us here. That first pin, again with the light, but there is a pin there, but it doesn't look like there's a spring on him because he doesn't protrude above the shear line. Unless, maybe if you turn him right side up, then he falls out. There is a spring there. Oops, there is a spring there. And it's a really odd looking pin with a tiny little, let me get the focus going here. What a weird looking setup that is. The spring is actually over the outside of the pin. I don't know if that was on purpose or it happened, but it's a cut spring, and the end of it has a little, like a T-pin set up. Pretty odd. Alright, let's see what else we got here. Okay, we got a serrated, standard commercial serrated. Another serrated, but this one, if you'll notice the diameter on this one, this is from an American lock, so it's about 3/4 of the diameter that it's supposed to, so it's in there flopping around. If you compare it to the diameter of these other pins, we'll do that in a moment when I hold the board up, you'll get a better idea of how much that could be flopping around in there. Next one is a homemade spool, looks like. Next one is a standard. Didn't expect that. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe not so standard. Again, with the telescoping, we'll look at that in a minute. It was just like that. And let me look at that. I'm seeing more and more of these. So I pulled the outer ring out first, and the inner ring was in there and stuck up inside of the spring. And should be the last one here. If I can get him, he just barely, if you take a look, he just barely protrudes above the shear line. Really weak spring on that one. I'm going to dump him along with all of the other. There he is. It looks like a standard. All right, Colin, I got to tell you, this is a great job. Great first attempt. Let me double check one thing here. This is a piece, looks like a piece of brass dowel that he's cut and then turned down the end of it to make his own homemade T-pin. These two are standard serrated. Let me move that off there so it's not rolling around. Now if you compare these two, this is a standard Schlage diameter, normal diameter. This is an American, so you look at the difference in the diameter. So this little guy was really flopping around in that big hole. And then we have a homemade spool, very deep cut, designed to snag up in there. And then on the bottom of it we had that weird looking T-shaped upside down key pin. On this one, the only defect in design, if there is one, is this one. Because the spring probably should not have telescoped, come on, should not have telescoped around it like that. So if you put a wafer disc in there first to prevent that, then it probably would have been a little bit more successful. And this little guy protruded down inside of there just like that to make a floating center pin. So you think you're picking the lock when in fact you're not. You're moving that center pin up and down against the spring, and that outer pin is probably the one that's blocking the shear line. So I probably got really lucky with him, or maybe the upper pin was jammed up in that spring and I really did get lucky. And the last one is just standard. Anyway, Colin, great effort. If this was your first challenge lock, I don't want to be the victim of your second one, but appreciate the effort. Everybody else, stay safe, stay legal, and if anybody knows where Adrian is, send him home.